to project the cost of Facebook campaigns. I'm including with this a brief article in Mashable from fairly recently where they used this tool to kind of do a little bit of a comparison, talking about, for example, how people have used Syncapse to spend a certain amount of money on their campaigns, how many people they would end up reaching. So I think it's a decent thing to look over real quick because it asks you a bunch of different questions about your target market, also market conditions, like what percentage of your customers are actually your fans, what market share do you actually have, what your average net margin per sale is, how often people buy something from you, because those are all factors that we oftentimes overlook because we just don't have the tools to be able to do that without already working for the company and things like that. So on Facebook, you can buy a CPM ad, a cost per thousand for impressions, a cost per click ad, or the new thing they've got is a cost per action, which is basically to get a like, to get a comment, to get a share, to get a person to follow you or something like that. So they break this down into market conditions and always on variables. Like they always want to reach their fans 6 times a week. Wow, that's going to be a big budget. And they want to reach friends of their fans 4 times a week, and they're willing to pay up to $3 for that. And then also what the variables might be for the campaign. Well, based on these things here, that they have a high customer to fan ratio and a decent market share, and that people only buy once a month, they've basically suggested this red area that they spend a lot of their time on friends of fans, only a little bit of time on their fans, and this tiniest amount of time on the individual campaigns. And they're basically saying that if this fictitious company was to spend $27 million a year on Facebook advertising, and $103,000 on friends of fan advertising, that ultimately they could drive the cost down. So they're getting each new fan for 94 cents a piece. They'd be getting communications from friends of fans for 62 cents each, and they'd be spending 2 cents each in terms of their reach and frequency. Great. So let's take a look at how that would actually go. So this is adplanner.syncapse. Go ahead and enter the URL for the Facebook page we're trying to look at. And I don't want to receive the updates. I'll try to run this at least one different way. So I want to reach people in the US. I don't care about specific cities for this particular thing, although obviously you could drill down and do that. Both genders, people 18 to 49. The interest area by you typing in movies, sports, food, or something like that will drill you down to a smaller audience, and you normally get a better buy when you can end up doing that. Customer fan percentage. Well, let's just say that we've got a 50% customer, 50% of our customers are also fans, that we own, let's say a 25% market share. We normally make, let's just say less than $1 per sale. And they normally buy a pizza, let's just say once a week. I'll leave a lot of these as defaults. Messages per week per fan, messages per week per friends of fan. Number of planned campaigns, we're going to do, let's say 6, 1 a month. Message per week during the campaigns, let's go up to 2. Average campaign length, sure, 2 weeks. We're going to go ahead and just leave the CPM cost the same. And let's click submit and see what it says. It's suggesting almost $4 million, and that we should be spending, since we have, in its opinion, I typed in only 50% of our customers are also fans. It's suggesting that we basically double up on fans and do nothing with friends of fans. And it's also saying that based on those variables, just forget trying to reach people on the additional campaign unless I'm willing to spend more money. So let's go back based on this little bubble and $4 million budget. Let's come back in and try that again. And yes, it's going to make you type this in each time. We'll still go back to our 18 to 49-year-olds. Customer fans, let's say that we have 90% this time of our fans also happen to be customers. We own a pretty big percent of the marketplace. I'll still say that we're less than $1 in terms of average net margin per sale, because we can't be having this split this far apart saying we're going to make 10 bucks per pizza. Buying frequently is still weekly. We're going to go back though and say we're only going to try to reach people 3 and 2 times a week, and I'm not willing to spend $3. I'll do whatever I can for $1. Messages per week during campaigns, let's go ahead and bump that up. Number of planned campaigns, 6. 2-week campaign, sure. I'll still go back here and only say I'm willing to spend $1, and let's see what it says. This time it's asking us to spend $653,000, but again, it is not suggesting that we focus on our friends and fans. It's still saying that we need to, based on our buying frequency, probably weekly. If we'd entered something that people were more likely to buy a pizza once a month, then it would think that the coverage was satisfactory and it would be trying to allocate us dollars towards friends of fans or toward our campaign objective. But since people are buying every single week, it's assuming that we need to spend a lot of money just going after our current fans. And here, now we're down to 16 cents. So we went from 94 cents per fan to get them to acquire to, with this kind of frequency and focusing just on the fans, we're only going to need 16 cents a piece to do that. So that's basically, again, a quick recap of ad planners from Syncapse, and it's all about basically projecting Facebook campaign money.